I'm very pleased with the nonsense that's about to happen.
Here. Here. Feel. Here. Feel. Think.
Hey, hey, you. You alright, lad? You were moaning something fierce for a while there. Feeling the effects of the ether, I reckon. You'll get used to it. Don't worry. You there, Halt. What's all this about? Inspection. Men search the carriage. Just an honest peddler, friend, so don't be too disappointed if you don't find nothing, eh? Mind your tongue, old man, lest I cut it out. Sir, look, Somnus. Honest peddler, was it? Since when do honest peddlers deal in prohibited herbs? You're in a lot of trouble, old man. You'll rot in a dungeon till the end of your days unless you can afford the fine. Business as usual. What? Namalja to arms. The Seven Hells, consider this a warning. Now go, all of you. That kind of excitement ain't good for the heart. Be careful around them brass blades, lad. Bastards will have the shirt off your back if they fancy it. Like common bandits they are, only less honest. Thank the gods for sending some beasts into the rescue, eh? Hey, seeing as we've still got a long ride ahead, you mind keeping me company till we arrive? Them young'uns don't much care for conversation, see? Brent's the name and Pedlin's me trade. And judging by your unusual garments, I'll wager you're one of them new adventurers. Anyway, going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory, now that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying. I mean, ain't no secret that adventuring's a risky business these days especially. What was it that first attracted you to it? I guess so. Power as in our power to do good, like protecting the weak and fighting for what's right and all that. I thought that's what you meant. Well, adventures do get up to a lot of fighting, that's for sure. You'll never be short of a chance to polish your warcraft in the adventuring business. When you arrive in town, you best enroll in the Adventurers Guild. They'll set you on the right path. And it wouldn't hurt to join a guild neither. Bulldogs home to a few. So if you fancy learning how to fight with a sword, your fist, or even spells, you should think about seeking one out. Just remember though, there's more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. By the by, is this your first trip to Ul'dah? No, but I'll say yes this time. Is it? Well then let's let this journeyed itinerant tell you the ins and outs of your destination. Uldah's ruled by the Sultana in name, but as most folks know, the Syndicate holds all the real power. Them and their monetarist cronies would happily get rid of Her Grace altogether, but that won't happen while she still commands the loyalty of the Royalists, and the Royalists are nothing if not loyal. That tongue twister. These factions have long fought over power, throwing the weight of their wealth against each other, and they show no sign of stopping. Of course, the Lizardmen, that's the Malja, couldn't care less about Ul'dah politics. They have their own interests, see, and they ain't afraid to use force to serve them. They say war is a gift to peddlers, need, greed, and profit, and though it shames me to say it, I'm inclined to agree. God, at long last, behold, Ul'dah, jewel of Thanalan, where folk turn sand into gold.
Deep in the sun-baked south, surrounded by the shifting sands of an endless desert, she rises. A solitary rose amidst the dust and rock, a symbol of defiance. Her name, Ul'dah. Even with the coming of the 7th Umbral Era, hope springs eternal for the mongers and merchants who vie for lost fortunes in this bustling oasis. As the twin faces of Nold Thal maintain their vigil over all that has been and shall be, the present proffers a brave soul. One whose arrival could mark the beginning of a new era of prosperity for the realm.
And here's where we part ways, lad. I'm off to the markets to deliver me wares, then it's on to the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this by way of thanks for putting up with me prattle. You never did tell me your name, though. Hey, but here's an idea. Become a sort of storied personage I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square.
May the traders nurture our fortunes as they kindle the flames which burn within us all. For by fire are we reborn.
Very adventure over here. Why, I mean you. Fresh off the carriage by any chance, eh? How could I tell? Name's Wyman, and my business is known every bugger else's. Now then, what if I was to offer you some invaluable advice by way of welcome to our fair city, free of charge even just this once like? Welcome to Ul'dah, the shining beacon of prosperity rising from the desert of Thanalan. Mouse of the Oh, let me fix my bars. Okay. Initiating quests. Non-player characters and PCs offer quests that can be recognized by the exclamation marks above their heads. Right-click the mark to bring the quest window. Coming to Ul'dah. To be recognized as an adventurer in the city-state of Ul'dah, you must register yourself with the Adventurers Guild. It is plain to anyone with eyes that you don't know your way around here. If I let you go wandering off down the nearest dark alley, you'll certain to get mugged or worse, and I don't want that on my conscience. So before you do anything else, you'll need to head over to the quicksand and speak with Momodi. She's the Master of Adventurers Guild and can set you on the right path. Just take those steps over yonder and pass through the double doors. You'll find her inside. And that's as much as you're getting for free. Good luck with the adventure and adventurer. You have begun a quest. Use the duty list to help you complete your task. On accepting a quest, the current objectives will appear under the quest title of the duty list on the right side of the screen. A maximum of 5 quests can be displayed at once. Click on the title. Clicking on the title will open the quest in your journal, allowing you to review objectives and reports. Collecting rewards. Complete a quest by right-clicking the NPCs with the check mark displayed above his or her head. Could you sit there? Completing quests will earn you a variety of rewards from items and guild experience points. Why, hello there. Who might you be? If you're looking to join the Adventurers Guild, you come to the right place. Name's Momodi, and I own this fine establishment if it pleases you. I also manage the Adventurers Guild here in Ul'dah, but you might say that looking after green adventurers like yourself is my vocation. And lucky for you that it is. Without someone like me to steer you right, you'd soon find yourself out in the middle of nowhere, caught up in business you don't understand. Like our conflict with Amalja, for example, they've been plaguing the Sultanate for hot nigh forever now. Then there's the Garlean Empire. None can say for sure what they're plotting these days, only that they are. Aye, and people drink and make merry, but underneath it all, there's worry. Worry and lingering feeling of loss. And little wonder, it's scarce been 5 years since the lesser moon cracked open like a giant egg, releasing an abomination intent on turning the realm into an eighth hell. So much was lost in the blink of an eye. 'Twas like the end of the world had come at last. But then things began to get foggy. Everyone's got their own version of what happens next, some of them 2 or 3. You'd think people wouldn't remember something like that, but the fact is, they don't. Nobody does. There is one thing the survivors agree on, though. The part played by a band of adventurers who laid down their lives for a realm that wasn't their own. They fought valiantly, and like so many others, they never returned. Deeds worth remembering, I'm sure you'll agree. It's just a shame our recollections of those brave heroes are as jumbled as those of the calamity itself. Whenever we try to call their face to mind, it's like they're standing between us and the midday sun, permanently silhouetted. Bet that sounds poetic to you, doesn't it? Well, it's not. It's bloody infuriating. But even if we can't remember them, we'll not let them be forgotten. And so we call them the Warriors of Light. And they'll forever stand as a shining example of what adventurers can achieve. That's why I welcome new arrivals like yourself to our fair city.
Hey.
All I ask is that you can lend a helping hand and try to leave Ul'dah in a better state than you found her. If you can promise that, I'd be happy to let you join the guild. Alright then, a promise is a promise now. I'm counting on your help to put the past behind us. We need people working and spinning and bickering like the old days. And a happy and prosperous Ul'dah means more business for the quicksand too. Anyway, let's make this official. Go ahead and write your name in the register neat as you can. I mean, he's a half-sentient alligator. I don't know how well that's gonna go. Florida Man. Well, ain't that charming name. Just rolls off the tongue, it does. Alright, Mr. Mann, on behalf of the Adventurers Guild, I officially... Please, sir, be merciful. 12 as my witness. I swear to you, I'll bring you your money. In the East, it is said that even a merciful god might be driven to vengeance if thrice blasphemed. Be grateful you were given a 4th chance to offend, to attend to this scum. I just cannot take Lalafell villains seriously. Well, ain't that a sorry sight, nor an uncommon one if I'm honest. Don't worry though, if you work hard, I doubt you'll end up like him. Just the same, if you ever need a bit of advice about one thing or another, pay me a visit. Just don't go bothering me every time you stub your bloody toe, alright? Of course, I do enjoy hearing tell of a gentleman's woes with the womenfolk from time to time. Any road, welcome to Ul'dah, Florida. Take a moment to catch your breath. I'll teach you a little about our fair city. This concludes the introductory game tutorial. Taking the first step as an adventurer to the city of Ul'dah. Listen well to the wisdom of Modi Modi, and go forth and discover the incredible adventure that awaits you. Main scenario quest. Main scenario. Yep. Yep. Close to home. Modi, the proprietress of the Quicksand, wants you to perform 3 tasks that will help you learn the fundamentals of adventuring. Before you go charging off to find your fortune, I have a few basic tasks I'd like you to perform, so as to help you get to know the place. First of all, I want you to visit the Aetherite Plaza. To get there, head west from here till you reach Emerald Avenue, then look to the north. You'll see a giant floating crystal called an Aetherite. If it weren't for Aetherites, traveling around Eorzian would be a damn sight more troublesome than it is. Of course, you still need to attune with them before you can use them, so be sure to do that with the one in the plaza. You ever attuned with an Aetherite before, Florida? If not, just lay your hand on the thing and you'll see what I mean. When you've done that, I want you to pay a visit to the Pugilist Guild over at the Platinum Mirage. assuming those weapons of yours ain't just for show, you might consider training there. And finally, I want you to visit the Sapphire Avenue Exchange over on the steps of Thal. Goods from all across Eorzea and beyond turn up there every day. You'll have no trouble finding armor, weapons, or anything else a fledgling adventurer like yourself might need. You might say that everything's for sale in Ul'dah, as long as you've got the gil. Just make sure you don't pay more than you ought in Florida. There's plenty as won't scruple to swindle unsuspecting foreigners like yourself, especially if they think no one's looking out for their best interest. Which is why I'm giving you this letter. When you visit the exchange, find a gentleman named Cesaroga and give it to him. He'll be happy to tell you about the markets once he's read it. In short, then, visit the Aetheryte Plaza, the Pugilist Guild, and the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Simple. But before you go, a word of advice. While there's more than a few unsavory characters out there who will try to take advantage of you, there are also some with honest-to-goodness problems who you should consider offering a helping hand to. A lot of folk are lured to the city by the promise of wealth and power, but many of them fail to realize that instead of chasing after Gil the moment they get here, they ought to be making friends. Let it be known that if you're willing to give as much as you get, and opportunities will come your way. Speaking of which, you should speak with the smith over yonder. Those lads always have some good advice for up-and-coming adventurers. Otherwise, that's about it for me. It's past time you got going. Oh, and let me know when you finish, will you? That way I won't spend my days worrying that you're down to your small clothes without a guilt to your name. You now have access to the Aethernet. Quick travel throughout the city can be achieved by simply placing your hand upon Aethernet shards. Tuning to the shard has granted you access to the city-state's Aethernet. The Aethernet can be used for quick intercity travel. It's quick travel. Hail, adventurer, might you have come to the behest of Miss Momodi of Quicksand? Excellent, which brings us to the matter of the attunement fee. That would be 100,000 gil, if you please, sir. Apologies, but I do so relish the opportunity to make that jest. Look on your face was absolutely priceless, but the fact that you were so easily deceived suggests to me that you are unfamiliar with the use of aetherites. Let me to explain. These crystalline what? I'm just gonna say amalgamation. Tap into ethereal energies and are primarily used as a means to travel swiftly from one place to another. Agglomeration. Okay. Perchance you have heard of return and teleport, as your transportation spells makes direct use of the aetherites and their connection to the flow of ether. Given that there is an aetheryte in almost every corner of Eorzea, any adventurer with a mind to explore the realm will wish to seek out and attune himself to each and every one. But even if you have no intention of wandering beyond the Sultanate's borders, it would be prudent of you to attune yourself to any aetherytes you encounter from now on. I pray you found that informative. Should you wish to learn more about aetherytes or transportation magic, I should be happy to answer your questions. You attune with the aetheryte. You are now able to use the return spell. Spell return can be used to instantly travel back to the aetheryte set to your home point. Casting the spell does not require any MP and can be accessed by selecting return under travel from the main menu. The sole limitation of the spell is that it can only be cast once every 15 minutes Earth time. Only one home point may be set at any time. To make an aetheryte your new home point, right-click on the crystal to bring up the aetheryte menu. And you are, quote, a newly come adventurer, but of course, yes, I am Sisaroga. What can I do for you? You would have me teach you the ways of the marketplace? Very wise as for my fee. What, you expect me to do this for free? Surely you jest. My dear adventurer, when you ask an Uldan for a favor, you should at least try to make it worth his while. Judging by your garb, I'd rather doubt you could afford my services. But the fact you offer nothing is laughable. Handing over items, yep. Oh, Mistress Momodi instructed you to seek me out, did she? Consider yourself fortunate to have such influential friends. I shall be brief and you shall be attentive. Just stomp on him. He's short. It'd be so easy. We stand in the Sapphire Avenue Exchange, busiest and most profitable marketplace in the Sultanate. Being a... what? Somebody's already trying to add me. Being advantageously situated in relation to other city-states, Ulda's markets have ever served as both the literal and figurative centers of Eorzian commerce. All the great overland trade routes lead to our city, and the majority of maritime trade between Falbran and Aldenard passes through our ports. Because of this, countless companies and consortia have chosen Ulda as their base of operations. They see to it that this marketplace is awash with merchants and moneylenders day and night. Anything a man could ever desire can be purchased here, provided as he has sufficient funds. Surely there's something you seek, adventure. A deadlier sword, perhaps, or a shinier trinket. Whatever it is you want, the exchange will have it. The north, you'll find merchants peddling armor and accessories, curatives and crafting materials. And to the south, you'll find weapons, tools, and an assortment of other useful items for sale. Seek out a particular merchant or browse to your heart's content, but do try to remain aloof should you find something that piques your interest. Decisions made in the heat of the moment are usually unwise, especially where coin is concerned. And that is all the complimentary aid you shall have from me, and far too much for my taste. My regards to Momodi. Now off with you. Just kick him across the field. Sure, why not? Wait, finish touching the blueprints. You have attuned yourself to all the Aether net shards in Ul'dah. The Gate of Nald, the Gate of Thal, and the Gate of Sultana, and the airship landing are now accessible as Aethernet destinations. Greetings and welcome to the Pugilist Guild. So you already walked the path of the pugilist, yet your journey has only just begun. Highly recommend you add your name to our roll, for there is no better place in all the realm to train in our discipline than here. The origins of pugilism, as we know it, can be traced back to the staging of barehanded bouts at the Colosseum. These contests attract fighters from far and wide, bringing their myriad styles crashing together on the blood sands. Amidst the chaotic intermingling of styles, there rose a pugilist of singular strength and skill. This woman made her life's mission to master every form she encountered, that she might refine her art. Among her many song-worthy exploits, we pugilists remember her participation in the gladiator tournament most fondly. Back when barehanded fighting was still seen as pastime for peasants, she took on fully armed and armored gladiators and effortlessly bested the lot of them. Word of her feat spread across the realm like wildfire, of course, and Old Daw swiftly transformed into a center of pugilism, with people flocking from all over to train under this master among masters. The woman's name was Cornelia, and it was to her that the Pugilist Guild owes the existence. The art practiced here is based on her all-encompassing style, and this training hall is modeled upon the one which she once built. And there is a brief history of our guild. I've told this tale 1,000 times, but gods, it never fails to fan the flames of my fighting spirit. Now then, should you wish to proceed with enrollment, you must first obtain the guildmaster's approval. Let me know if you would like to meet him. Excuse me. So are you ready to present yourself for the guildmaster's inspection? Pagaruna wishes you to reaffirm your desire to join the Pugilist Guild. Master Hammond is among the greatest pugilists of our time. For long years, the man held blood sands as the Holy Fist, though he has since retired in favor of training aspiring fighters. You find him overseeing his charges yonder. Go now and show to him the fighting spirit that burns within you. Last time you got your spec here. But what did the dancer have to say about my proposition? You're not my errand boy. There's no dancer. There never was. I'm not doing anything indecent, I swear to the gods. What, you're here to enroll? Ho ho, well, why didn't you say so sooner? In my capacity as guildmaster, I would be glad to give you a primer on the art of a hand-to-hand combat. Doubtless you already know this, but we pugilists fight with our hands and feet. While these don't deal as much damage as a blade, it hardly matters when you can land several blows for each swing of a sword. But we lack in destructive force, we more than make up for it in speed and cunning. Under my guidance, not only will you master striking techniques, you'll also learn to string them together to deliver an endless fury of blows. Only through such fierce combinations can pugilists realize this potential. Crikey, I'm spent from all this talking. You ought to speak more, son. It'd give me a chance to catch my breath. But where was I? Alright, joining the guild. Before you do so, I must warn you that the path of the pugilist is long and arduous. Do you believe you've got what it takes to go the distance? Be honest with yourself now. Yeah. Until we unlock gun. Yes, you have the fighting spirit. I can see it in your eyes. I see no reason to deny you the place in these halls. Welcome to the guild, son. For your first lesson, I want you to test your fledgling skills against the vermin of Thanalan. Get out there and put down 3 marmots, 3 hornets, and 3 shrews. Return here when the deed is done. My bad. Ow. Not unless it's another cat here. How was your tour of the city, Florida? Get lost, did you? No. Highwell Uldah's a big place with lots to see and do, but wandering around aimlessly don't pay the bills. If you're serious about making a living here, you'll need to remember where things are. When you go exploring, explore like you've got a purpose, eh? Alright then, that's all that's left is for you to work hard, make money, and spend it here at the quicksand. Unlike other melee classes, pugilist weapon skills are used to cycle 3 unique battle forms, which dictate the flow of weapon skill combos. Any pugilist weapon skills will either change your form upon execution or require you to be in a certain form to execute. There are also weapon skills which will grant damage bonuses when executed while in certain form. The 3 types of forms are as follows: Raptor, Coral, and Opo Opo. By successfully changing your form from Opo Opo to Raptor to Coral, precisely in that order, you will be granted an increased to attack potency, as well as other additional effects based on the weapon skills executed. Swiftly flowing from one form to the next, as the situation demands, is key to becoming proficient in the art of the monk. We must rebuild. Momodi of the Quicksand wants to introduce you to a certain someone at the Uldah Dispatch Yard. Well, youngling, how are you finding our fine Uldah? Got your bearings about you yet? If so, mayhap it's time you adventure beyond the city walls. The bustling streets of Uldah are one thing, but the wilds of Thanalan, that's another altogether. I know a bloke you might fancy speaking to, and he you. Name of Papa-san. You'll find him over at the Uldah Dispatch Yard. No doubt he'll have some work for you. The dispatch yard is over in central Thanalan. Just head out the door across the hall and you'll see the Gate of Nald staring right back at you. Pass through it and head east. You'll come upon it for long. There's dangers beyond the wall, though. More than I'd care to count. Nothing too terrible, mind you, but feisty enough to attack if you draw near. Don't say nobody cared enough to warn you. Anyways, we're punching stuff. Fate is short for Full Active Time Event. These public quests occur periodically in real time around Eorzian, and anyone can participate by simply showing up before one ends. When you sense a fate nearby, a message will appear on your screen and the location will be displayed on your maps. The type of fate in progress can be identified by its map icon. Mousing over the icon will display the fate title. You'll automatically join a fate the moment you cross the event threshold. At this time, the fate title, objectives, and time remaining will appear in your duty list. If you are several levels higher than the recommended level, a level sync button will appear in your duty list. Press the button to automatically lower your level so that you may participate and receive rewards. Well, you certainly look the part of an adventurer, my friend. Might you be the good soul Momodi advised me to expect him? I am Papa San, station master of this humble dispatch yard. An empty title, I assure you. I truly am no more than a tired old Lalafell passing his final years in quiet and solitude. 12 no, there have been plenty of both these last 5 years since the calamity struck. The devastation was vast. Yet now true old dons work together, doing all in our power to rebuild what was laid to ruin. By the sweat of our brows and the love of our home, we have rebuilt Old Dod to the grandeur and majesty that you see today. Railways which run through the dispatch yard, too, were born of the noble efforts of a great many souls. There is so much work to be done. The wounds left by the calamity run deep. Isolated areas beyond our lines of supply remain, and there are places yet wanting for relief and restoration. Bulda needs the aid of you and your brethren, friend. In fact, never has our need been more dire. Which brings me to the point, I suppose. I do believe I may have some work suited to one of your ability. Nothing to see here. Station Master Papa-san is a simple task for a fledgling adventurer. Since you've come all this way, perhaps you can perform an errand for me. It just so happens a number of sentries have been sent to guard the area, to dispatch the dispatch yard as it were. They have long been away from the shade and feathered beds of the city. Hot days and cold nights can play hells on the mind and body out here. It isn't much, but go and give them these twilight pretzels, would you? I find comfort food always helps when I feel like killing myself. Oh my god. Halt, sir, I'm going to have to ask you to put the pretzel on the ground and place your hands above your head. State your name and business. A twilight pretzel from Papa-san. By the gods, forgive me. You could say this new post has my nerves in a twist. I'm terribly sorry for that. Yes, well, you may rest assured that the dispatch yard is safe so long as I stand watch. Please give Papa-san my thanks and tell him I only wish I could repay the favor. Western front clear. Eastern front clear. For me, for Papa-san, a twilight pretzel, my favorite. How did he know? Can't fight on an empty stomach now, can I? Actually, I can't fight on any stomach. I suppose you could say I have no stomach for fighting. Hmm. 12 saved me. Scorching days, freezing nights. This post will be the end of me. The twilight pretzel, don't mind if I do. And that's refreshing. God's damn pretzel. I feel reborn. You've returned, and with a deal fewer pretzels I see. Tell me, how fair are Sultan's sworn sentries? Did they have anything to report? Anything at all? What? Nothing? Are you sure? Oh dear. Take this for your troubles then, and stay a moment. There is more I would ask of you. Ugh. Lord, I have just this moment. No, the time for concealment is past. The truth is, even before I had you deliver those pretzels, I was privy to some most unsettling news, which is the real reason I sent you to meet the Sultan Sworn. Papa-san is in dire need of your assistance. A young noblewoman from a very prestigious family has run away from home, and I have been ordered to see to her safe return. Sultan Sworn you met earlier are assisting with the search. Alas, it seems they have found no trace of her. I apologize for not being frank with you from the start, but we must proceed with caution. Should word of her disappearance spread, I fear others with less honorable motives may join the hunt. And should we allow her to come to any harm, not even 100 beheadings would be punishment enough. That cannot happen, Florida. It must not. I need you to help me find her. Praise the 12. I know I can count on you. I've instructed the others to expand the search, but Thanalan is vast and there are only so many of us. The young noblewoman's name is Lady Lyria. I want you to go south and look for her in the vicinity of the Sultan Tree. Good luck. Full Sultan Tree. You're about to enter an instance battle. Instance battles only occur during certain quests and missions. Take a moment to read the information displayed in the active help window before answering the call of duty. Yeah.
O Sultan Tree, hallowed spirit of my line, forgive my weakness. My failings have cost us dear. Show yourself!
I'm standing right there.
As you command, O Lilira. Forgive my selfish desire to assure your welfare.
I don't recall requesting an escort. Simply pretend we never met and continue on your way.
We both know I can do no such thing. It isn't safe for you here alone. It isn't safe for anyone. Not with this etheric disturbance. It's as though the dead are watching us. And I'd prefer not to join them, if it's all the same to you. Ah, you must be the one the Papa-shan mentioned. Congratulations on finding our elusive young charge. You'll have to forgive her impetuousness. What she lacks in discipline, she makes up for in stubbornness. You should return with us. The station master will be eager to thank Lady Lilira's protector in person. Alas, the station master will have to wait. Dear Lilira, for my sake, please stay out of harm's way. As for you, dear friend, for Lilira's sake, please stay in harm's way. Whew.
Hear, feel, think. Crystal Bearer. I am Heidelin, all made one. A light there once was that shone throughout this realm, yet it hath since grown dim. And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead, presaging an end to life. For the sake of all, I beseech thee, deliver us from this fate. The power to banish the darkness dwelleth in the crystals of light. Journey forth and lay claim to them. By thy deeds shall the crystals reveal themselves to thee. Only believe, for the light liveth in thy heart. And shine thy light on all creation.
Ah, coming around now.
Would you mind telling me what that was?
If I only knew. A denizen of the void at any rate.
The void sent? Here? But how?
The question isn't how, but who. We're not dealing with bookless bandits. Don't suppose the answer came to you in a dream? No sooner did you fell the beast than you fell asleep. Too much ether, no doubt. Interesting. I hadn't considered the crystal. But of course, this changes everything. Oh, just thinking aloud? At any rate, we haven't a moment to spare. I must return and report this at once. I leave Lady Lilira in your capable hands.
How dare you pass me about like a swaddled babe? I shall return and tell them myself.
As you wish, your impetuousness. I suspect we shall meet again before long. Until then, do try and stay awake.
No promises. Thank the gods you've returned. You had us all worried. You do realize that what would happen if a person of your noble stature were to be injured or worse? By her grace, the Sultana would be beside herself with grief, and so would her subjects. I dare say they'd be weeping in the streets. But I have already given you cause to weep, Papashan, and you and the people of Ulba. Please, not to say such things. We will find it, I swear to you. It is not my place to make commands, my lady, but I beg you, please stay out of harm's way. I apologize for causing you undue worry, Papashan. I shall refrain from traveling unescorted in the future. I cannot thank you enough, Berta. I understand you fought bravely to protect Lady Lilira from the voice-said fiends. For your gallant service, you deserve all the riches in the royal vaults. Alas, a small token of my gratitude is the best I can offer. A sarcastic man with a strange contraption strapped to his shoulder? I see you've met Thancred. He's a scholar who spends his days investigating oddities in the aether. Rather too fond of the sound of his own voice for my liking, but perfectly harmless. As for you, Florida, you're just the sort of adventurer we need around here. Pray you show the same kindness to the people of Fenelon as you did to us today. Susido needs reliable adventure delivered gift to the coffer and coffin. You're an adventurer, yes. If you're not otherwise occupied, I have a favor to ask. I've resolved to repay a debt of gratitude which I owe to the owner of the coffer and coffin. For this purpose, I purchased from the royal plantations a prodigiously plump pumpkin, particularly popular piece of produce. Alas, I cannot part this place to procure and proffer the pumpkin. You see, the scheduled shipment from the Nanawa mines for which I wait is late. I'd prevail upon you to pick up the pumpkin in my stead and see it safely to the coffer and coffin. Present this receipt of purchase to Igari at the royal plantations, and she will yield it to you. I apologize for asking you to attend to this time-consuming task, but I truly appreciate your assistance. If Cicidoa doesn't come calling soon, the spectacular specimen shall sadly be past its prime. Oh, so you're to deliver this decadent delight. I can say with confidence that any gourmand would be grateful for such a grand gift. Here's the pumpkin. I hope it meets with Roger's approval. Fresh produce is somewhat scarce in these parts, and as such, we are always deluged with demand. You know the way to the Coffer & Coffin, correct? It is beyond the bridge to the northwest. Look for a place where local laborers lounge. Before we do that, we're doing our class quest. Our job quest. Sentient meatloaf. Oh my god, what a name. Oh, you're back, and none the worse for the exertion. Youthful vigor is a truly blessed thing. You've gotten off to a fine start, son. To help you on your way, I want you to have this hunting log. Within, you'll find the names of various creatures' opponents that you might hone your skills against. If you want to become strong, you mustn't neglect your training. Indeed, a pugilist is only as good as the number of strikes he's dealt. Get out there, Florida, and let your fists fly. When the time is ripe, I'll teach you something new. There's no limit to the potential of youth. I look forward to seeing you come into your own. The next pugilist quest will be available from Hammond upon reaching level 5. Well, guess what? Guildmaster Hammond wishes you to learn the basics of combinations. You've been training hard for it. I can tell by the lightness of your steps and the strength in your fists. I reckon you're ready for your next lesson. Before we begin, some warming up in order. For this, I've scattered some gil across Old Doff. I want you to run around the city and pick it all up. Now that's my money laying out there, so I want you to go about it like there's an Amalja warband on your heels. In other words, I want you to sprint. Of course, you can't go on sprinting indefinitely. Your body needs to rest a while after each burst of speed. This may sound elementary, but I'm telling you this to demonstrate a point. As a pugilist, it's essential that you learn to face yourself in a fight, else you're liable to get worn out. And when that happens, the fight's as good as over, and you'll be sorry if you had bet on yourself. That's my money lying out there, son. I think you to hurry and pick it all up before some vultures swoop in on it. 500 gil, crikey. This is good for a week's worth of, well done, Florida. Now that you're all warmed up, we can see to your lesson, a trial to be precise. Take yourself to Scorpion's Crossing in western Thanalar. There you'll find 4 large stones, the trial stones they're called. I want you to deal each of these stones a solid boot shine combo. The impact will arouse the earth spirits that sleep within, which you must then defeat. If you find yourself hard pressed, there's no shame in running away. You're still learning the ropes after all. Once you've gotten your wind back, you can hurl yourself into the fray again. Remember this, strikes bring down opponents, but it's your footwork that keeps you standing. Now off you go, Florida, and good luck. So you've given the earth sprites what for? Well done, Florida. By smiting stone and earth, you forge unyielding weapons of your fist. Your nigh endless fount of vigor, Florida. I, just like myself in younger days. This must be the promising recruit you've been telling me about. Well, of course he's promising. He's training under Hammond, Holy Fist. It's our Master Hammond. Florida, I don't believe I've introduced my assistant yet. This is Judo. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. As introduced, I serve as Master Hammond's right hand, but there's still much and more I have yet to learn. Together, let us strive for mastery of our art. Judo joined the guild soon after I was made its master. She's my very first student, as a matter of fact. There's one other to be sure, but let's not dwell on the past, Master. Florida's bright future we were discussing. Which reminds me, did you collect my gil from him? My gear is rather worn down, and I do need the money for repairs. Yes, Florida's future with us is bright indeed. If he keeps up his efforts, he may well become the next Holy Fist. Train hard, young one, and grow strong. When the time's ripe, I'll have another little lesson for you. Oh, my hair's looking for sure. this. First. By learning the spell Teleport, you are now able to travel instantly between aetherites to which you are attuned. Access the teleportation menu by selecting Teleport under Travel from the main menu. Unlike other spells, Teleport does not require input capacity, instead uses a type of naturally regenerating spiritual energy. A small fee for fuel, however, must be paid to the keepers of the aetherite so that they can maintain the crystals and defend them from those who would see them destroyed. Fee varies depending on travel distance and remoteness of aetherite location. Registering an aetherite as their favorite destination will reduce the amount of gil required to travel there. Up to 3 favorite destinations can be registered at one time. Ring free, laddie. You won't get better ale or spirits for your coin than at your place. What's that? Luisidoa asked you to bring this here to me. So even that foul-mouthed drunk show knows the meaning of remorse. Reckon this is for the time I carried his drink sodden in our spell. The hell's an honest-to-God's pumpkin from the royal plantation, so can't wait to see what the cooks will do with her. Lads here scoff down beastly amounts of meat, and is starting to tell on their health. It'll be good to get more vegetables in their bellies, assuming I can get the stubborn bastards to try something new. Thanks for the help, buddy. Roger hears all sorts of information in this line of work, some of which may be useful to you. Word is Blackbush Station sorely undermanned. The stone torches there can't get a moment's peace. Book by the name of Warren is hoping to bolster their numbers for a short-term assignment or two. If you fancy putting few extra gil in your pocket, you could do a lot worse. Looking for work, perchance? If so, you couldn't have come at a better time. We stone torches are cell swords hired by Amangina and Sons Mineral Concern to protect its interest. Our primary duty here is to keep tracks clear of pests, and it is for its purpose that we require your aid. I should point out, however, that it can be messy work, and liable to get messier still if you're ill-prepared. A single piece of gear can mean the difference between life and death. I'll not have it on my conscience that I send an ill-equipped adventurer to an untimely demise. See to it that your arms and armor are in order. When you're ready, present yourself to me again. Get another piece of equipment. Porters are similar to rental chocobos in that they can be hired to carry you quickly to various destinations. The difference being that you cannot control these birds, and that they will not stop until they have arrived at their destination. On the other hand, porters are trained to take the safest route, meaning that they will never be attacked when in transit. Donuts. Your donuts. Nothing. Oh. My shoulder's bothering me, so